All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. How are we? Yep, it's Wednesday. Sorry about yesterday. Strangest thing. Slept all night. Pretty good amount. Went out in the morning. This is yesterday. Did a little shopping. Came home. Went to the beach. Came home again at about 12:38. Took a shower. Had a little bit of something to eat. The last thing I remember is seeing the clock and going, it's 1:11. And then I fell asleep. Woke up about 6:30 thinking it was the morning. Looked at the window, saw a little bit of sunlight, not knowing it was PM, thinking I did the show earlier because I'm in a groggy. Oh my God, I even texted the Cousins brothers thinking that they would be sleeping, but they got the message. Oh yeah, just get us later tonight. So I'm sitting there just watching TV, not a care in the world, not knowing it's nighttime. Because I got all dressed up to go work out. Everything. I was ready. And I even bought sativa weed just so I wouldn't get tired. That shit does the reverse to me. Every time I've tried it now, it's knocked me on my ass. And it's sativa. Right? That's the one that's not the incubus, right? This is like the succubus. This is the one that gets you going. Well, I went over to Alien Girl's show thinking it was 7 a.m., right? Because now about a half hour has gone by. Nobody's there. And then it says, Alien Girl's show will start in approximately 11 hours. Look out the window. It's a little darker. I said, wait a minute. I go back to my channel. Oh no! What did I do? I fell asleep the whole day. I thought it was nighttime. I thought it was daytime. What time is it? I went into my Seinfeld rant. Who are these people? Why do they keep doing this to me? To myself. And I immediately was like, I gotta make a thumbnail. I don't know what to talk about. What am I gonna do? I have nothing. I can't find I was supposed to connect the video camera today. I was supposed to show my videos. I was a mess. So I can't do it. I just can't do the show. And that's why I didn't do it. It wouldn't have been good. And then I got a wild hair up my ass because I started waking up and I'm like, I'm going to go work out. So I even messaged Samo. I said 50-50 chance we're going live at 10 o'clock tonight. And by the time I got done working out, it was close to 10. I'm like, I really needed the day off too. I just needed one day. And it just happened to work out that way. And God, I love it when that happens. But I hate it when that happens. Because the whole day's wasted. The whole day. So, it is what it is. But I did. I got a little color at least. I'm going to go back tomorrow. It's supposed to be 85 the next 2 days. And then it's supposed to drop to 62 with rain, thunderstorms. And I'm not moving to Arizona now. We're going to stay. Too expensive to go back. It's 50% more expensive to move than it was just 2 years ago. So we're going to have to deal with everything that's out here and just deal with whatever we're in. And that's that. But, whatever. So tonight, look, this Enigma Labs, we can't have people dropping their UFO information to Enigma Labs. I've gotten a couple of people telling me some strange things about what's going on. Nothing like Alejandro Rojas is one of the shadiest characters in this field. He really has a bad reputation, and I heard him say some things that just, aren't really nice, or kind of racist comments, But from what I hear, they are supposed to be, open to the public, and now they want to work with the government in a, government affiliated dark black secret project type of things. Now, I thought this was going to be like a new type of MUFON, right? I think it's more than that. I think this goes a lot deeper. I think this is going to be directly information that goes straight to the government, and Enigma Labs is being pushed harder than anything you've ever seen. And we need to look at this and think about who are the people in it, and what's their reputation, what's their agenda, what's the narrative they're plotting against the narrative that's already out there. Are they creating a narrative for their own agenda? I don't know. But I don't like the foundation of Enigma. It's the same. Now, Gaia, you could say Gaia is really what TTSA should have been, right? Because we all knew what Tom DeLonge was saying. I want to turn these experiences into movies and music and poetry and artwork and stuff like that. That's what Tom DeLonge wants to do, right? They paid for every episode of Unidentified on the History Channel, bumped off another show that was going to be in place of it because they paid for everything. That's where your money went to if you donated. It went to that nice, boring echo chamber show, Unidentified. Enigma's no good. And then now I got to play this video. I'm not the only one who thinks, well, it's really strange, I think, how the mainstream media played this game about the threat. Because the mainstream media doesn't know squat about ufology. Tucker Carlson tried to be that go-to guy. Tucker just seems a little bit too eager. I don't know, something happened last year. Maybe I'm just tired of it. Maybe it's just the same thing over and over. Lou and Nick Pope and everybody goes on Tucker Carlson, right? That's their go-to guy when it comes to mainstream media. But I'm not the only one who thought from the beginning, there was very few of us, me being the sound horn for Elizondo is not being honest about this threat. I kept saying it's about China. It's got to be. There's no evidence. They're saying stuff that doesn't match the evidence they're showing us. It doesn't look like UFOs. It looks like drones. It looks like anything but a UFO, what they're telling us. Anyway, I got a video. I'm gonna start the show off with this video, not by me, but by Dan Bongino, was talking about what this balloon that was going over the United States could mean to the UAP discussion. So a lot of people are trying to come up with, well, you heard, Lou Elizondo, well, the 5 observables, we could have easily found this balloon. No, he didn't say that. I'm just being a dick. But, they didn't say anything about the balloon. For years, we keep hearing about a threat. For years, we kept hearing about these Tic Tacs we've never seen. For years, we kept hearing, every day for 2 years, no evidence. Ryan Graves, thank you very much for all your non-insight insight. But I want to say welcome to the show, everybody. Let's do a little roll call. I think I saw a super chat to start the show. You can help support the show. We are supported by you, the main, I almost said the mainstream people. Man, I'm losing it. Hey, you watch Biden for 2 hours, you'll lose a few IQ points. Did you see that garbage address to the nation last night? My God, that was awful, just awful. I couldn't even watch it. I was so angry. Like the bold-faced lies. Oh, we haven't had this kind of it. When we came into this administration, the economy was reeling. No, it wasn't. It was the best it's been in 40 years. Then he says, oh, no, we've got the best unemployment in 50 years. 50? Everybody's just going back to work still from the pandemic that was shutting everything down. Everybody's going back to work. And not even everybody's going back to work. In all reality, Biden only got 241,000 jobs, not the 800,000 that people think he's gotten us. No. The whole thing was a lie. The border guy had a fentanyl problem. Close the border. We're working on stuff. We got to make sure we don't get this stuff across the border. It's your fault. This is not my fault. The last, every administration, yes, a couple of those came out. Shabadaboo. Oh, I was like, you are a liar! Why are you lying? I was so angry at that last night. I literally shut it off. I said, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I was in too good of a mood, and I didn't want it ruined. And I watched 20 minutes to, it was just, but I watched it today. Rebecca, welcome to the show. Samo, show welcomes you. Diane, welcome to the show. Tim Freestone, welcome to the show. Bob Perkins, welcome to the show. Hellfire Studios is here. Samo, again, welcome to the show. Jammer Travels, welcome to the show. What's up, Beyond Foresighted Dipper and everybody else? I just want to get going. Let's keep going. Claudia's here. Hey, how you doing? I saw you yesterday. Good to see you. Tim, Claudia, hey, yeah, I saw you yesterday. It's good to see you. David Wilcox, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Rebecca, hey, good to see you. Dorothy, throwing down a $2 super dono. A super dono for the new people. It's a donation with no. That's the second part of donation. It has no comment, no sticker. Dorothy's the best at the love. She knows how to do it. $2, beginning of the show. Egg all over everybody. Yeah, thank you very much, Dorothy. Dorothy. Continuing supporter of GUFON. Claudia Rodriguez. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Good, welcome to the show. I don't know, I tried repeating what I said before and I forgot. All right, Moonlick's here. Hey, Heather Birdie's here too. Let's get started. Brooke is Yoga with Denise. How you guys, ladies, doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. Arrows Andy. Interesting. What are you brushing your teeth in that picture? Oh, throwing darts. I see. Stuart, welcome to the show, Chief. Got my neighbors outside. I can hear them talking. I just heard the guy say, I can hear him through the walls. Intergalactic overhaul. Yeah, because it's like right there, dude. Brian, what's up, Chief? And the guy's like 90. Hey, Richard, I can hear you through the walls. Did you know that? Yeah, I know. I can hear my TV through the walls, too. Ha! I can hear my TV through the walls. Yeah, I heard your TV, too, through the walls. Glenn Petzold, what's up, Chief? Welcome to the show. Billy Nice, what's up, Chief? Another chieftain. Welcome. Brian, did I? Dark Hour Paranormal. It's Michael. It's Michael Roser. Who are these people? Who are these people? Get out of here. You don't belong here. Truth Entertainment. How you doing, Chief? TTT. Truth Entertainment. All right, Den Bub's here. Let's get started. Alfie Joe Bob, how do you do? If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a show to do. I'm in the mood to keep going tonight. Don Mofo, what do you say? How do you be? What's up, man? Thank you. Sorry, let me go backwards. I saw Brian dropped one down there, too. Thank you, Brian. That's a super dono. Again, following the lead, Dorothy starting the transition from pure love to pure love. I don't know what that means. I couldn't stop myself, so I just kept going. I pulled a Biden right there. Brian, thank you very much. Sergeant Rosso. Don Mofo. Right? Thank you, Don Mofo, throwing down $2. Uh-oh. Don Mofo throwing it down. A continuing supporter of GUFON. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it, brother. Sam Albright got my attention here. I live, he says, for $5, 20 minutes from that train wreck that's all over the news. Friend took a video of the smoke with a weird light in the sky. I'll try and get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no way. 20 minutes, that's it? Dude, that was huge. I couldn't believe that train wreck. If you can get any cool video on that, sadly, I don't know if anybody died, but I know that was very, very toxic. I definitely would like that. Thank you, Sam Albright. Yeah, let me know. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support too. Mr. Wilhelm Robert, thank you very much. Continuing the trend from last night, or 2 nights ago. Sorry, I wasn't here last night. My memory feels like it was last night. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. $5. Again, you guys are unbelievable. Seriously, without the support like this, Hellfire Studios, $20. And got a little surprise today. You just reminded me of something. Hold on a second. Thank you very much. That is very, very generous of you, by the way. Very generous. And I saw your Twitter thing. My God, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Christmas looked great. Yeah. Thank you for that. You'll see in a minute. You guys will see in a minute. Thank you very much. Hellfire Studios throwing it down. I can't believe I left it in the other room. I'll get it in a minute. Baza D Bear, how you doing, man? SoCal Squatcher. Hellfire Studios, nice going, man. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Appreciate it, though. Mucho gusto generoso. I'm checking real quick. All right. A lot of nothing really major is happening. It seems like a lot of senseless arguing going on. Like, why are we even, having this discussion about this, the threat? Why? Why even bother? We all know that's a legitimate thing, right? I know it's legitimate. If UFOs are doing what they do, showing up with impunity in airspace they're not allowed to be in, that's a threat. I agree with that. However, I'd like to see this threat just one time, just once. And I'm not sure we are seeing the actual threat we think we're seeing. Because the Chinese have been light years ahead of us, and I've said it 100 times, in drone technology and other technology of the sort. Probably balloon technology too. That's not a joke. That's not me making something up. That is a cold, hard fact. And the thing about the mainstream media, they don't want to tell us. They don't want us to know that China's that far ahead of us. They could try to push it down. And the things that we've been seeing may not be ours after all. I think the problem is, the government's problem is China. And they've got this technology, whether it be a drone shape, a tic-tac shape, a balloon shape, whatever shape it is. They've been watching us for a long time. I heard with drones and balloons, probably 11 years is when it started getting bad. I don't know what 11 years ago means, but that was just a number. 2012, for some reason. Maybe it was when Obama's second term. I don't know. But there was a lot of stuff going on back then with our own government spying on us, and we don't know what they were doing. But I tell you, I think this has a lot to do, which is why they created ATIP or OSAP, whatever you want to call it, to deflect the incoming barrage of spy balloons and drones from China, who knows, maybe sharing their technology with Russia and abroad. And our government can't stop it, can't do anything about it. And we've had Biden now, he's going to be in there 4 years. And then they pretty much took 4 years off of doing all that shit, I bet, because of Trump and the pandemic, of course. And then 8 years before that, we know about the wiretapping and all this stuff that literally since 2001 and a half, 2002, since 9/11, we've been watched all the time, one way or the other. Watched, followed, monitored. We all are. Every phone you have, even if you put it on airplane mode, you turn it off, whatever you want to try to do to get away from them, they can still follow you. The GPS still tracks you, even with those features on and the phone off. So don't think you can outmaneuver that shit. You can't. And that scares me a little. I don't really do anything illegal anyway. So I'm not one of those people, I don't care if they can watch me because I don't do anything. I don't want people watching me anyway. But it's a major problem. It's pretty bad. Well, I'm going to play this video. Let's see if this is the right video first. Oh, I've got a bunch of interesting clips to play tonight. Let me put that one in the queue. This is going to be a weird. It's just not fair. Jay Stratton. I want to talk about Jay Stratton tonight. And maybe I'll open up the link to talk about Jay Stratton coming out on Weaponized, talking about what he says he saw. The only guy who saw it. Yeah. I know. I'm all right. It's okay. It's okay. Former intelligence official breaks silence on government UFO. See, now I look at Jay Stratton, somebody that's very similar to Richard Doty. Why should I believe this guy? And, UFO Jesus put a video out today regarding that interview, and he says, just because Jay Stratton works in the government or worked in the government doesn't mean, everybody's gullible, that he's gullible and he just believes it. He just believes it, or he's making up stuff. I'm like, dude, it's the government. The guy's going to lie. I don't understand why you think that just because this guy's talking, that it's the truth. We can't just not trust somebody because they're in the government. Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't trust anybody who's in the government. Are you kidding me? How could he sit there and say that? Because other people are promoting the niceties of Jay Stratton. Because he's one of those people on that side of ufology. He's the next guy. He may be the next guy in charge. You'll see. He may be. I don't know. Former intelligence official? Come on. And then at top of the hour, Into Thin Air has a video. I think it has to do with more thunderstorms, earthquakes. All right, this is so stupid. I'm looking for... this just gets weirder and weirder for me. It was the first thing I did today. Right? And it should be right here. I don't understand. I don't get how this happens to me. Leaked UFO footage shot in 1968 smuggled by journalist George Knapp from Russia. Have you heard about this? Yeah, we'll talk about that too. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let me see if I can't believe I can't find this. It's Dan Bongino. The 3 Chinese spy balloons spotted during the Trump administration were initially classified as UFOs, but they weren't. See? See? I'm telling you, man. These people got us hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. They want us to believe them. Now I'm going to punch myself in the eyes. I can't find it. I don't know where my video is. Let me pull it up here on my phone and send it to myself. How weird is this? It's just bizarre. It wasn't a YouTube video, I don't think, because I should be able to find that. Let's see if it is. If it is, I can just grab it real quick. It was a Reddit video. See? Crazy. I don't understand why I am this bad. I'm the worst. I mean, I can find it real quick. It's not that. I just. Brother. Oh, brother. So it wasn't on YouTube. Got it. Okay, thank you. So I have to go on Reddit. I could have sworn I sent it to myself. I know I did, as a matter of fact. I just can't find it. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see if this is it. No, but I can play this video for you. This is pretty good, actually. I'm going to play this for you. This is good. Yeah, this is new. Former intelligence official breaks silence. Watch, just watch. On UFO investigation.
UFO mystery. One longtime intelligence official has seen more of the Pentagon files than anyone.
He is the only military man to work
on
three
chats.
major UFO investigations, including one based here in Las Vegas. The official is Jay Stratton.
Don Mofo throwing down $20. Holy mother of 20s. Jiminy Glick, thank you very much. That was right after Hellfire Studios threw one down. Thank you, man. Don Mofo throwing down a super dono. Dude, thank you very much. Frickin' A, man. And Atlantis is found with $5. Can't wait to talk shit about old Billy. Billy? Billy? Billy who? Billy who? Billy who? Billy Meyer? I don't know what you mean. Billy. It's not hitting me, but thank you very much for the $5 super exciting super chat. I feel like my eyes are really red, but they're not. Thank you, Atlantis is found. Mucho gusto, generoso, sir. What's up, Sarah? What's up, Frank Smith? Helen, how are you? I see people just getting here. Baza de Bear, how you doing, Chief? Jim Freestone, Joey B, what do you say, man? Nice to meet some of you. Welcome to the show, GUFON. It's Giordano's UFO Network, or greatest UFO network. Andy Cowley's here. What's up? Eon, Four-Sided Dipper. Claudia, hey, you're still here. Thank you. I'm always like, I can't believe that person stayed here for that long. Not you. I just say that with people anyway. Thank you very much. Bud Royale's here. Stephen A. Stephen A. Cyber Baby. Shoddy Panorin. Welcome, everybody. All right, let me get back to this clip.
And he has never spoken in public or even granted an interview, that is, until he sat down with our very own George Knapp of our 8 News Now investigators.
When a mysterious object dubbed the Tic Tac UFO befuddled U.S. Navy aviators and sensors off the coast of San Diego in 2004, the incident was dropped, not investigated. The first in-depth probe happened 5 years later under the auspices of a then-secretive program called OSAP, the Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Application Program, created by the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Hey, what's the name of that place that starts with an R? It's like YouTube. Not Reddit. I'm thinking of the one where, what is it called? That's where it is, and I can't remember the name of the place. What is it called? What is it? Rumble. Ah, dang, man. Thank you.
With black budget funding spearheaded by Nevada Senator Harry Reid. Tic Tac was the first UFO incident tackled by OSAP and its contractor, Las Vegas aerospace pioneer Robert Bigelow. The report was released by us in 2018. Jay Stratton is the man who wrote it.
Every time I've done anything related to UAP or UFO has been my job. And what I mean by that, I didn't really have a passion growing up. I didn't have all the books. I didn't watch all the TV shows. I stepped into a job at the Defense Intelligence Agency where some things came across the desk.
From 2008 until 2021, pretty much everything UFO related came across Jay Stratton's desk. He made the decision to ditch the term UFO and use UAP instead, unidentified aerial phenomena. Stratton worked at the highest levels of naval intelligence, then was loaned to the DIA, where he excelled at reverse engineering. He and his colleague, rocket scientist Dr. James Lakatsky, kept seeing reports of unknown craft, but learned there was no central location where such mysteries were being analyzed.
You know, all the stories you hear, right, there's probably the office that deals with this. And as we tried to find that office, we found nothing.
So they created one. Stratton's colleague, Dr. Lakatsky, had been reading about a UFO hotspot nicknamed Skinwalker Ranch. After a visit to the Utah property, Lakatsky pitched the creation of a formal investigation. Harry Reid agreed to fund it. Robert Bigelow landed the contract.
We know all about this. Why are we even watching this, to be honest with you? Wasted our time. But not really. I got something here for you. So, you know, I've been bragging that I was one of the very few people, if not the only person at one point, saying that this threat, even from day one, isn't real. In a way it is, but it isn't. But the way it was being portrayed to us made it sound like there's an invasion of UFOs swarming, and they use that word. Jeremy especially, swarm the Russell, swarmed the Ronald Reagan, swarmed, right? That's all they say. Now, everything is swarming. So I always said, you know, it's weird because there's no video. They say there is. But I don't know. There's something weird about the story. Like, how come we're not seeing anything at all? Not even a still image? Hey, you want to go by the gimbal go fast and the other thing? Be my guest. I don't live in their reality, and those aren't UFOs. Those are mundane objects that are being portrayed as UFOs. I'm not the only one over the last couple of years to wake up to this idea that China really is light years ahead of us in drone technology, hypersonic technology. They blew us out of the water. They had the first hypersonic missile to go around the world, and it took 1 hour, and it missed the target just by a mile. So we, at that point, were only able to go for seconds with our hypersonic technology. Now, all of a sudden, in the last month or so, they did this hypersonic test that just blew the doors off everybody. You know, it was a miracle how they passed this test with flying colors out of nowhere. A miracle. A miracle. Well, I still think everything that's been going on, including this balloon, plays a big part in a lot of the UFO sightings. And I think they use the UFO, the UAP, the last couple of years. A lot of people were home. A lot of people weren't working. A lot of people were seeing things, and sightings were a little bit up. But people were starting to see this technology, and they had to come up with an explanation for it. And their explanation is, it could be something not of this world. Remember, Lou said it could be from another world, or maybe in this world. Maybe it's from another dimension or an inner dimension. And he's coming up with every solution that he used to scoff at. And then we find out that he's really good at doing remote viewing, and he's psychic. I mean, all the bullshit. Anyway, Dan Bongino and others, they're hip to it. Maybe they caught wind of our show. It is possible. A lot of people watch GUFON, believe it or not. Laugh all you want, but it's true. And here we go. Check it out. He's going to say exactly what I've been saying. And 3, 2, go.
Suggestions out there that kept this information about the China vast aerial surveillance program from Donald Trump because they were afraid he'd be too aggressive, really too aggressive. Like maybe do something that would interrupt a lot of their business relationships with China, if you know what I mean. The Right Scoop. You can read this article in the newsletter. Congressman Waltz suggests General Mattis didn't tell Trump about Chinese balloons because Trump would be too aggressive. Gosh, I hate being right about this stuff. He is. What a nice guy. He's like these generals. Milley, Mattis. I mean, what disappointments. Now, back to the Jenkins article. This Holman Jenkins article is amazing. One of the best I have ever read. That's a bold statement. I read a lot. He talks about the balloon popping, balloon pops DC's myth bubble. He's making the point in this piece that federal agencies in the government are just now way too comfortable using disinformation on you. Again, to stop you from uncovering what Trump already knew, that your government's bought and sold. Now, this is a controversial thing, and I know I'm going to get a lot of negative kind of spillover from this, but I'm not going to reject talking about it for that. A lot of you, I understand, believe that there may be alien life out there in UFOs, and that's fine. I need hard evidence of that. I've had Hugh Ross and others on who've given me explanations as to why they don't believe that's the case. However, I don't want to get into a UFO debate here. However, let me tell you something. What does UFOs have to do with the government, misinformation, our generals, our military, and the Russia hoax? Jenkins is making the point here that, remember, Joe, when the UFO thing came out like a year ago, Tucker was on it, and you and I, before every show, would be like, why are they doing this now?
I sure do.
Were they about to tell us something? Now, some people surmise that maybe they're about to tell us that they know about alien life. Jenkins' point is, no, that's not what they're going to tell you at all. What they were really trying to hide is the fact that the Chinese Communist Party has been spying on us using advanced devices and simple devices like balloons for a long time.
The word is out, and people just aren't buying it. It is the beginning of the end for that narrative. The threat. They're going to keep using it. But, I mean, you heard it there. Dan Bongino show. I mean, how many, has he got 2 million subs or 1.5 million? I mean, he's telling a lot of people what we've been talking about. It's pretty weird when it gets to, I don't know if he's really mainstream. He's got a big following. A lot of people listen to him, but I just thought it was really interesting to hear him mention that. And here we are in the midst of the balloon conspiracy. Again, something from Russia And I mean, China. I don't like the way you say China. You don't like it? Too bad. I like
say
this.
China. 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 China.
That was my favorite one. This one here.
China. China.
There.
China.
China. Vagina.
You go over to China. 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 You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China. 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 I have to have my China. China. China because China. 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 China.
We'll get back to Trump China in a little bit. That still has another 2.5 minutes to go. China. 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 Here's an interesting, I don't know if somebody's suing Lou Elizondo or TTSA or Tom DeShlong, but John Greenwald posted this on Twitter. Hey, it's interesting. He says, I worked on this story for more than a year, and finally I got the Army to release the full investigation into an Army counterintelligence agent being filmed without his knowledge and put on a TV show called Unidentified. It's revealing. It will be published shortly. That was earlier today. And this says here at the bottom, it's blurred out. They said, nor the 902nd unit patch are easily identifiable. After seeing the clips whilst watching the History Channel, immediately reported the incident to 1SG, whoever this is, later texted Mr. Elizondo stating that it could have been nice to know that the producers were filming. Yeah, he has not had contact with any representatives from ATIP or TTSA since then. So I guess they got somebody on the show without getting their written express permission to be on there. He didn't know that they were filming? See what happens with that one. Always looking for the shortcut. Always. Thanks to new UAP reporting mechanisms, the USG retroactively identified 4 overflights of the U.S. New WAPO reporting suggests China's balloon surveillance program began in 2018, around 2018 with the balloons. No evidence that daily 2014-15 UAP encounters off East Coast were Chinese balloons, because every day for 2 years, they said. Well, Ryan Graves. So I think that's interesting. I mean, they have it right here. I didn't pull it up on the screen yet. Right here. Part of vast aerial surveillance program, U.S. says. We know all this. Since 2018, 3 of the 4 instances took place during the Trump administration. Yeah, I gotta blame it on me. U.S. intelligence and analysts have retroactively identified spy balloons which are deemed unidentified according to U.S. officials. Yeah, so back then, see, Lou's wrong. Remember yesterday when I read that thing where Lou said, well, they were calling UFOs drones. We still have not seen a UFO UAP called a drone yet. Here, it's called a balloon. Nah. I'm waiting to see that report where they're calling UFOs drones. Just doesn't, he lied. Pure bold-faced lied. All right. Speaking of people who are too green to know the truth, too green to know the lie, too green to know who your friends are in this field, too green, well, Eric Weinstein said. So far as I am aware, he says, there is as yet zero evidence of UAP, UFO craft defying the laws of unknown physics based on high quality, publicly available data. So there's no evidence out there, he says. There are simply an enormous number of videos, rumors, eyewitness accounts, and indirect indications. What should we propose? You know what I propose? Every UFO report that comes in to a UFO reporting center, MUFON, GUFON, Third Phase, anywhere you want to go and say, you got to take a lie detector test. Yeah. That would solve it all. No? In case you missed some of the action last night, let me just play a little bit for you here.
Make no mistake, if you try anything to raise the cost of precision jobs, I will veto.
If you try to raise the cost of jobs, you should be out of jobs. You don't understand? Shabby-da-doo. Shooby-dooby-doo. Shooby-dooby-doo. Nap's UFO. Sneaking a UFO video out of Russia. Remember that story? Oh, so stupid. It's not even a really... It's nothing anyway. I'm not going to go over that one. I'm not interested in talking about Nap. Here's something I am interested in talking about. There's a guy on Twitter who thinks he's having encounters with aliens on a very, very continuous basis since he was a child, and regularly, and he's got a clear image of a UFO. So he says, his name is Anonymous Shadow, Edwin R. Morris. This green orb with a blue flame behind it comes charging at me. It stops instantly. It whispered, "I have been waiting for you." It hovered, then it took off at 1,900 miles an hour. Not 2,000, not 1,500, 1,900 miles an hour towards Buffalo, New York. Date unknown. First of all, how do you not know the date? Second of all, 1,900, and you don't know the size of the object. It's a dot. So I blew this thing up and I looked at it. Oh, I thought this was the blow up. There's no blue flame. It's a balloon. Yeah, it's a balloon. I'm not going to go crazy looking for my thing. That's what she said. But yeah, you can tell it's a lie because he said 1,900 miles an hour. Yeah. Well, also it's a balloon. So. But anytime somebody tries to make a story sound more legit, they will come up with a weird number. Like they won't put it at 2,000 miles. I estimate about 2,000. He goes 1,900 because he wants us to think that he did real math and very specific research. Oh, I applaud 1,900. If he would have said 1,850, I wouldn't have believed him. But 1,900, oh yeah. Whew. Good job. Please. Hey, Spaced Out Radio, what are you doing, D? Dave Scott, everybody, from Spaced Out Radio. Going over to Spaced Out Radio someday in May 20-something, 21st. We're going to meet in Las Vegas. Yeah, I invited myself. I did. I put pressure on Dave to invite me. No, I didn't. I maybe I did accidentally. He says, "Oh, yeah, we got this thing going." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going." He's like, "All right, gee, yeah, you can come." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't mean to invite myself." No, I want you there. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to meet for the first time. You know, me and Dave never met. It's going to be a good time. When I get more information about that, I won't let you know. Of course, I'll let you know, everybody. But it's invite only. Sorry. You have to invite yourself like I did. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. I'm joking around. A little bit. A little bit. Appreciate it. Well, that was nice. Surprise, huh? Dave Scott, everybody. You know, we're almost there. So, yeah, it's almost time. In 2 minutes, we got the Into Thin Air special coming up. You know, let's just go there now. I'm already talking about it. Well, let's do a little I2TA. Let me pull up the video. You know, while I'm grabbing the video, just enjoy a little more China.
China now. China. You know, China.
I know China very well. China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me. China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China. China in particular. China. I have people that I know in China. China. I've been saying China.
It's still going on in my ear because it's so stupid. All right, Into Thin Air. This one is global earthquake. Watch as likely. Global earthquake watch as likely solar storm approaches. You know, the last time, I think it was a couple of days ago, wasn't there a solar storm that erupted? There was a coronal ejection. Is that how you say it? And then we had the 7.8, 7.5 aftershocks and all that. Oh, man. Check this out. Into Thin Air, bringing us up to date phenomena that has to do with the weather, space, and abroad. Check it out.
Welcome back, everyone. It is February 8th, 2023, and take a look at that M-Class CME that took place yesterday, actually, on the 7th. Very, very amazing visuals we get to see with this one. In fact, as you can see right here, I posted a short on it last night to give you guys an idea of what this side of the sun could be bringing us any day now. Now, we're also going to get into some earthquakes that took place, one down in the Caribbean Sea, which is very significant, and then something took place in North Carolina early this morning that I believe is another meteor explosion over the United States. We'll get into that in just a few, but take a look at all these sunspot groups, specifically here, and then obviously the side that is going to be Earth-facing in the next couple days. It's making its way from left to right, but a few of these groups are beginning to morph and interact magnetically in a way that is known to produce CMEs. According to a lot of the experts that follow the sun, we are in a time of high solar activity, which can clearly be seen with all these different sunspots. That's where most of the sun's eruptions come from. Of course, we have filaments that erupt also that send solar wind towards Earth. And when that happens, it puts stress on the Earth's magnetic field, and we then in turn get earthquakes. And we do not need any more earthquakes right now. You are looking at these sunspots now. They're each named by a number. These are the ones we have that are in view, and off screen right here is where that massive M-Class solar flare plus a few more since that recording have taken place. We could see here on Suspicious Observer's website, a great researcher when it comes to space weather. I reference him all the time. You could see he talked about this sun flare as well. And again, as I stated, this is the region that is going to be turning Earth facing soon. So basically, again, as I've said before, picture the Earth right about here at the equator of the sun. So as a broad idea, anything within this part of the sun that goes off will in fact affect Earth. And seeing the amount of activity taking place over here on the left side just means that an active region is moving its way towards us. And again, very quickly, I know a lot of talk is still going on about Turkey And this is my point. We do not need this extra stress from the sun on the Earth right now. We are still getting 5.0 and higher aftershocks in this area even today. You can see right here a 5.1 took place just a little while ago, and it's just non-stop. This area is getting completely decimated with earthquakes, and it is honestly one of the saddest things I've ever had to report or see in my life. Now, I want to go over a few earthquakes or possible meteor strikes. We're going to talk about the North Carolina area. You can see there is nothing listed here on the USGS, which is why I believe this was a meteor explosion based on how many people felt it and how many reports came in. But first, take a look at this. A 5.5 striking in the Caribbean Sea, just north of Honduras, off the coast, right on the fault line. In the last 30 days total, we've seen one other earthquake. It's about to load right now, and you can see it right there. It was a 4.5 back on the 14th of January, so we haven't seen much action here along this specific fault line. So to see this 5.5 take place and the timing of it, I think it's important we watch this area. I believe Dutch Sense has also put a warning out in this area. Probably one of the best earthquake forecasters I've ever seen in my life. I've been in somewhat contact with him for years now, and it's just incredible what that guy can do as far as preparing people for earthquakes and how he goes about doing so. Anyway, we all know about the Buffalo earthquake that took place, the biggest one in decades. It was a 4.0 downgraded to a 3.8, felt by thousands of people in Canada, New York, Pennsylvania, you name it. The spread of the shake, because of how the crust is formed in this area, expanded it a lot more than, let's say, an earthquake of the same size in California. All right, we are jumping over now to volcano discovery. Again, as I said, this earthquake, or at least possible earthquake, again, I'll explain why I don't think it was one. You can see these other reports all over the place. Most of them are disregarded, which means it was one report or less. But this one specifically right here, and also the one next to it, just about 30 miles away, we want to talk about. And as you can see right now, they're calling it an unconfirmed earthquake or seismic-like event 24 miles northwest of Durham, North Carolina. This was today at 5:04 UTC. The most important part here is the reports. We have 9 user reports. Now, what that means to me is that this was compact in a small area. And based on what these people are saying, and without any answers as to what these people felt, this again has led me to believe that another meteor has exploded over the skies of the United States. Right here, you can see this report says sounded like an explosion. This one right here is very interesting. I heard a loud explosion at midnight that shook the house, then felt little vibrations a few minutes later. That would be along the lines of a sonic boom or something that a meteor can produce. It explodes in the sky, and then the concussion hits afterwards, causing vibration. We'll go ahead and read this long one here because it's very descriptive. Woke me from a light sleep. I heard a loud, low-frequency boom, 10 times as loud as a power transformer blowing up. And we all know those are super loud. Woke my son and my wife also. It felt like an earthquake, but the sound was more like an explosion. Went outside and all streetlights were still on. Didn't see any fire in the sky. Didn't hear any siren. Even though he says there's no fire in the sky, that does not mean this wasn't a meteor. And we'll go ahead and read this one too. I could feel the shaking, which I would mostly describe as hitting the side bumps on the car of the interstate. And this part is very interesting. I noticed my remote vibrating on my coffee table. Now, as we zoom in here, the second reported event that took place 20 hours ago is considered unspecified and is now being called disregarded, which means they are not considering this an earthquake because of the fact that there are too few reports or evidence to support it. But again, my friends, I can't stress enough that the sun and the earth completely interact with each other when it comes to seismic activity. It's not always the reason. As we saw in Turkey, there was barely any sun activity going on when that horrible event started. So that was not in relation to the sun, but because this area is so fragile right now, any sort of extra force on the Earth's magnetic field may in fact cause this area or any other area that is facing the sun at the time of the solar wind beginning to hit. Those weakest points will go off. And that is the reason why I have named this video as an earthquake watch. We need to keep an eye on the sun. Again, this significant 5.5 down near Honduras in the Caribbean Sea is definitely something to keep an eye on. Plus, we've also got 3 pretty significant groups of sunspots that are all turning Earth facing. This one is basically Earth facing right now as we speak. This one will soon become Earth facing, and then so on and so forth. And then, of course, the left side of the sun, which has been going absolutely crazy over the last 12 hours, is something we absolutely need to watch. All right, my friends, that is what I got for you for now. I will keep a close eye on all these situations for you and update as needed, more than likely through a short video. If not, then tomorrow. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Into Thin Air, for another report on the abnormalities of earthquakes, unusual weather, and anything else that's in the sky and all that. You know, strange stuff, strange weather phenomena, space phenomena, things around. You know what I mean. Thank you very, very much. Into thin air, throwing it down. And thank you, Andrea Coran, for a $20 super chat that I somehow missed. So thank you, Samo, for reminding me to go look, because there it is. Thank you. I don't know how I missed it, but I had to go pretty far back. So thank you for that, Andrea. You're a continuing supporter of GUFON. Appreciate it. Yeah, I am. I'm checking now. No, it didn't. There's nothing here. Nothing. Thank you very much for the support. You can help support GUFON the same way. Even with PayPal and Cash App, we are supported by you, the public. However you want to show your whatever. You know what it is. You know what we do. All right, I'll put the link to Into Thin Air into the show description as soon as the show ends and anything else. So let's get back to work on, okay, so I think we can all be in agreement that the government will never be honest about UFOs. Let's start there. Knowing this, why would we ever believe a word any of the government says? Anybody who worked in the government. Why? Because we're desperate for anything new. Anytime somebody says they have information about UFOs that we don't have, that nobody else has ever told us, or corroborates a story, we're there for. We want to hear everything. It's not that Jay Stratton's anybody special, but he is. And if he's going to start talking, I don't know what that does about his NDA, because he was talking about his NDA. And from what I heard, they make it very scary when you're involved with something about, that requires an NDA, which is the reason why Matt Burchett, representative of, was it Wisconsin or whatever, that's why he doesn't want to be involved. He doesn't want to have to sign any NDAs and put him, his family at risk. He wants to talk about this stuff. He doesn't want to wake up one day with 2 bullets in his chest and 1 in the back of his head, as he put something like that, right? He goes, I'm going to wake up someday with 2 bullets in the back of my head, and they're going to say I committed suicide. Something like that. Tim Burchett. I said Matt. I think there is a Matt Burchett in sports somewhere. I think he's an MMA wrestler. Fighter. You want to hear something really interesting? Paul Giamatti. Do you know the actor? Well, check this out. This is I can't believe that this is what it's turning into. Hey, holy crap. Where's the well, yeah, there's supposed to be the story here. He's supposed to be involved in a new series about UFOs and stuff. Okay? I got it. I pulled it up. I sent the link to me, but it's not here. Either that or the news is moved. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I didn't know the Stanley Cup. I haven't even watched hockey this year. That's just terrible. I didn't have time. I don't see it. Anyway, it's supposed to be a show that's coming out. And it's supposed to be involved with UFOs and aliens and other stuff. And I don't like that it's not here, because February, it's right here. Clicking on it again just to see if I can find it. Film? No. TV. Let's click on there and see if it just pops up. Huh. Well, oh, Lee Motor dies. That's sad. Yeah, I can't find it. It doesn't matter. It's just that there is going to be a new TV show coming out with Paul Giamatti. Here it is. I found it. Dive deep into aliens, conspiracies, and hoaxes in a weekly podcast series called Chinwag. Set to explore these topics, it's going to be a new weekly podcast series. The Billions star and author and philosopher Stephen Asma are hosting the series, which comes from Treefort Media and Giamatti's own Touchy Feely Films. The series, which launches on April 5th, will feature an eclectic lineup of guests, and we'll see the pair delve into questions such as, are we living in a simulation? What's the most perfect sentence in literature? And is Bigfoot interdimensional? As well as topics such as science, the occult, philosophy, and magic mushrooms. It will be available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Treefort Media, which founded Touchy Feely Chinwag I like nothing more than hanging out with my pal Steve and getting into a good chat about highly weird stuff. I'm ridiculously excited for listeners to join us as we off-road into some wild, wacky territory and, like any great chinwag, have some laughs along the way, said Giamatti. Come on. April 5th. That's going to get a big, I don't give a shit. Not interested. I'll listen to it because, it's, it may be good, it may be great, but I doubt it. There's a sighting that this person had on Twitter. Her name's Nikki Noel. She said this sighting was so incredible as these 3 UFOs followed to grab dinner, then home. They are still hanging out outside from hours ago. Hell is private planes and the Air Force came along for the ride too, per radar. This stuff never gets old. And the only thing I see in the sky here is the tiniest dot you could ever imagine. 2 dots. This cannot be the world of ufology that we are living in, but it is. This is what people get excited about. This is what people are thinking is legit. This is what people are calling evidence. This is what people call alien technology. Where do you see it? Let me know. And I'm telling you, look at the dot on the bottom. Do you see one on the bottom? I think this is on her windshield or something. Just watch that one on the bottom. Somehow it doesn't make sense. You'll see. But I don't see any magic coming from these 2 dots. See, I think this is just right after sunset, right? And she's seeing, what is out there now? Venus? Or something? Jupiter? Whatever. It's out there. And you can see it right at sunset or sunrise. It's funny. Bye, Intergalactic. Dots are not mysterious. Nope. They're only mysterious. See, you see how that person made that sound like the greatest thing of all time? It's terrible. It's really crappy, if you ask me. It's a really crappy UFO video. It's terrible. Absolutely horrible. I wouldn't even consider that a UFO video. I don't know how you can. How can that be? It just can't be. It's impossible. Next. The Malibu, we talked about the Malibu anomaly. It's brought up in Beckley's book. People are still thinking that may be an alien base, but it isn't, sadly. Jay Stratton. Yeah, let's get to that. Let's get to a little Jay Stratton, shall we? Let's put this up here. So, the Pentagon's highest-ranking UFO hunter steps out of the shadows to highlight his work on the UFO topic on Weaponized. It says here, the creator and former director of the UAP Phenomena Task Force, Jay Stratton, has given his first ever public interview on Weaponized. He's the only person from the U.S. federal government to have worked on all of the modern UAP programs and is the most senior figure directly involved to have spoken out, having held a rank comparable to a 2-star admiral. Speaking to Knapp on his approach to the UAPTF, Stratton spoke about the importance of trust. We're already 70 years behind the power curve for trust, right? Because everybody says the government's lying to us and that the whole Blue Book thing and the whole Roswell thing killed trust. Regarding his investigation approach, Stratton later added, I kept an open mind, a skeptic mind, whatever you want to call it, looking for something that can answer this and all the means that I had to chase that. But there were definitely some times where we really couldn't close the loop, and we realized that something needed to be done about it. Stratton's story, which led to the eventual formation of the UAPTF, started in 2017. Following his involvement with the ATIP and OSAP, Stratton told Knapp that he had no intention of returning to the UFO topic again. That was until the New York Times broke its story about the Pentagon's secret UAP investigation following Lou Elizondo's resignation from the DoD. After the New York Times broke the story, which included accounts from the Nimitz Tic Tac UAP incident, Congress's interest was sparked, and Stratton was asked by his boss at the Office of Naval Intelligence to tackle the topic and lead engagement efforts with congressional committees. An entity, which would later become the UAPTF, was subsequently formed by Stratton in 2018, 2 years before the DoD formally established it in August 2020. Stratton was seen as the best person to work on the topic by ONI due to his previous experiences with other UAP programs and his background in identifying the capabilities of other nations' military systems and validating potential threats. So, 2021, January, when that year's U.S. National Defense Authorization Act became law, the UAPTF was given the daunting task of creating a report for Congress in 6 months. With a monumental effort needed with few resources available, the task force became further handicapped when Stratton was reassigned to other duties. That job left of creating the report to 2 other members of the UAPTF, despite them both having other full-time jobs. The poor babies couldn't get it done in time. What's the matter? Couldn't get people to work? Got a little lazy? Unbelievable. Always looking for excuses. Some have speculated that Stratton's reassignment, it was an attempt to sabotage the work and the pending report. However, the 2 remaining members were committed to transparency with the American public on the UAP topic. They pulled together a massive briefing presentation Stratton had created and used it as the basis for the report eventually delivered to Congress. Providing some context on Stratton's importance to the UAP topic up to this day, George Knapp told Liberation Times, Jay Stratton was the U.S. government's top UFO hunter. He conducted the first in-depth investigation of the Tic Tac case and is the only person in the entire government to work on all of the major UFO probes, including the DIA's ambitious programs, OSAP, its successor, ATIP, and then the UAP task force, which he created, organized, and directed before it was formally authorized by Congress. The classified briefing he wrote, narrated, and presented to key audiences is a primary reason why the newest program, Arrow, was created. And unlike many of his former colleagues at DoD, Stratton believes the public has a right to know what's going on rather than the obfuscation, stonewalling, misleading statements, and strategic leaks to debunkers, all of which to continue to muddy the UAP waters. Oh, the little babies. Oh, the little baby. There's my little Jay Stratton. Are you okay? Gosh. Welcome to UFOlogy, Stratton. Now, GTFO with your bullsh stories. I don't believe anybody, especially this guy. Look, there's a reason why they all hang out together and they all support each other. They are all in on it. I don't know. You have to think, right? If there was a government cover-up going on, which there is, do they have to let Corbell and Knapp know that there's a cover-up? No. Do they tell them what they can and cannot say? I don't know. Who? The government. Who, though? I don't know. Who would tell? Who's running? Who's putting out the narrative? Is there somebody writing a script now? Of course. And it's been written for decades. The next 100 years is already written out, played out, strategized. And when things pop up that are unexpected, they change the plans a little bit. Maybe delay it a year or two, maybe 4, or until they get the right person in office that can put things into law safely without it being vetoed. UFOlogy has 2 years. Avi Loeb gave himself what? What did he say? 2 years. 2 years we expect to find something. And look, they will find something. Avi Loeb and those people will manufacture something. This is how it's going to go with Avi Loeb and that whole Galileo project. Galileo project sees something they think. This is going to be the title. This is going to be the headlines. Galileo focuses in on possible ancient alien spaceship. Because that's what they're looking for, right? And then it says underneath, possible other planet, galaxy, whatever. And then it's going to be, the conversation's going to go on. They're going to give us a picture. It's going to be kind of blurry. There's going to be a little more focused one. They're going, yeah, we're cleaning it up and all that. You know, we just wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. And then the excitement just keeps building and building and building. And then all of a sudden, nothing. They're going to come out with something 6 months down the road when they said it would only be about a month and a half. This is my idea of what's happened. And then they're going to say, we thought we had it. It really wasn't. What it was. And then they'll give us the explanation of what they thought it was and why it isn't. But we're going to keep trying. This is all new to us, Avi Loeb will say. We have no idea what we're looking at, is what he should say. This is the first time we've ever scoped out, looked this way with this many telescopes. After 2 years, if they don't find anything, that thing's going to, it's over for Avi Loeb. You'll see. 2 years, that's it. 26. We'll give it till 26. Oh, shoot. Why do I have 3 here? Hold on, let me pull this up. Why Wow. I got to see what this is. Why? So Anonymous Shadow, come on, man. This is the guy I just showed you, the balloon, that he thinks there was a blue flame coming out of this object, that it chased, that it went towards him and said, don't be afraid or whatever. Now he's got a picture of an alien. He says, why do I share this? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the new Stan Romanek. He says, why do I share this? So that you guys understand that it is a real series of events that happens to hundreds of people worldwide, and that there is nothing wrong with talking about it or feel you want to be ridiculed or looking down upon. I don't understand this English, but I can't deny my experiences. This guy has aliens and all sorts of UFOs. I mean, look at the striations on the chest muscles here. This thing's in shape. That's some alien you got there, Anonymous Shadow. Yeah, that's real. Hey, for $50, I got a bridge I can sell you in Arizona. I like people that are ambitious. I like people that, think they got something, but come on. Huh? Come on. That guy ain't seeing anything. He never does. He said, I've also been taken aboard various crafts as a young child and even in my teenage years. See, that's the lie. That's the lie. Why say it that way? Because he forgot his lie. Why not say, I've been taken on board crafts my entire life? You don't say I've been taken aboard crafts as a young child and then in my teenage years and even into my adult years. You've been... Come on, dude. You're trying to make it sound better than what it really is because you're lying. You can always find these liars. It's so easy. I want this guy to have that experience, but they're so unbelievable. Everything he says is like off the chart, like impossible to prove. Everything. Even in my teenage years, he says, and being shown, not shown, shown the build. He was shown the build of a craft and how they are either DNA/frequency base operated, even shown how to build one, which was later erased from my memory. Oh my God. If you knew that they erased it from your memory, then they didn't erase it from your memory. So stupid. How do you know? If they erased it from your memory, you have no memory of that. No, I have the memory of that memory, but I don't have the memory of details. Shut off. Stupid. That guy, we got to watch that guy. I'm on that guy now. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anonymous Shadow. Yeah. It's awesome. This guy's writing is so bad. I don't bother him, though. He says, I've also... Oh, I already did that one. All right, let me show you this. Let me just play this for you. Wait a second. Let me just play this. I think I did earlier. Didn't I play this already? Hold on. I never finished it, I don't think. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to finish this out. I want you to see the rest of Jay Stratton, and then I want to talk a little more. I got to find something real quick. Just watch this.
Contractor, Las Vegas aerospace pioneer Robert Bigelow.
I know, I said I didn't want to talk about it, but there is something I want to talk about. It's in the second half. Watch.
Identified aerial phenomena. Stratton worked at the highest levels of naval intelligence, then was loaned to the DIA, where he excelled at reverse engineering. He and his colleague, rocket scientist Dr. James Lakatsky, kept seeing reports of unknown craft, but learned there was no central location where such mysteries were being analyzed.
All the stories you hear, right? There's probably the office that deals with this. And as we tried to find that office, we found nothing.
So they created one. Stratton's colleague, Dr. Lakatsky, had been reading about a UFO hotspot nicknamed Skinwalker Ranch. After a visit to the Utah property, Lakatsky pitched the creation of a formal investigation. Harry Reid agreed to fund it. Robert Bigelow landed the contract. Stratton consulted with the ALSAP program and then with its successor, ATIP. When the head of ATIP, Lou Elizondo, resigned and revealed its existence to the New York Times in 2017, Stratton was asked by his boss if he jump back in and cobble together a new program. He did, and that effort was eventually formalized by Congress with a new name, the UAP Task Force. One of Stratton's projects was the creation of a comprehensive but classified briefing that included UAP videos and photos collected by the military.
All right, so, and we all know the shit that came from Jay Stratton, right? All of it is explainable. He put together balloons, reflections, and I swear to you, still, on my beautiful dog's soul, that this is in a reflection of your camera's white thing. It's this thing right there. And I've already shown that 2 years ago that it's that thing. This right here, the flash. And the thing to the left of it is the camera housing. Watch. It's the camera housing. It's the inside of the camera. It's this part. And I've shown that very, very, very easily. It is this thing right here. It is. I know that case is 3 years old. Don't worry about it. It works. Hey, yeah. But Jay Stratton did all this. Now you want to trust him? Yeah, that's what I thought. You want to trust him? Be my guest. Jay Stratton is part of the game, part of the narrative, part of the problem. Luis Roldan Jr. with a $2 shadow government is writing the script, bro. I know that. They are writing my script too. I have just now malfunctioned and accidentally started speaking in my real voice. I work for the government. I am working for the DOD, Pentagon, and other sources. Thank you. Luis Roldan Jr. throwing down a $2. Very intelligent. We have the best chat room here. Smartest people on the planet. I know you hear that on other shows. But for ufology, bar none, right here the best. Paula Faust throwing down a $2. Is that a new one? It is. It is. Thank you very much. Super dono, by the way. A dono. Because I don't know much. But I know I love you. Thank you, Paula Faust. Hope you feel better. Mucho gusto, generoso. Luis Roldan Jr. with another $2 says, bro, shadow government is controlling the Pentagon, bruh. I know, they control everything. 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 I'd like to know. I'd like to see who that is. Wouldn't you like to see who it is that's actually writing the script for the whole world? Wouldn't it be great if they came out of, like, they just one day they showed up and they were the most vile, disgusting aliens you could ever imagine. They had hundreds of eyeballs. Their skin was glowing and we don't know why. They had a very bad smell. And they every time they moved, it sounded like a balloon squeaking. You know? That's the type of aliens I think are out there. I don't know what it is about that movie, Arrival. I tried watching it this morning, and 40 minutes in, I fell asleep. The movie played out. Tried watching it again, fell asleep. Tried watching it again, fell asleep. I couldn't watch the movie. I kept falling asleep. Thanks, guys, for the super duper chats. Mucho gusto, Generoso. But I would like to see who they are. I wonder if they're old people. I wonder if they're aliens. I wonder if they're the Anunnaki. I wonder if they're just people like you and me. I don't know. Not funny. Hey, I don't know what part you're talking about anymore. Too much time has passed, but thanks for the $2. Mucho gusto, generoso, Rodan Jr. LRJ in the house. What's that? Oh, they keep wanting to send me the endo pump. Hey, guys. Hold on a second. I am going to get something real quick. Hold on. Let's do this. Get that there. This. No. Here, let's go here. I want to play this for you, but I don't know if I can. I think I can. Is this from Mick West? Hidden evidence, no good public evidence of amazing UFO, Mick West says. Likely no good mill evidence either, but the wall of secrecy will forever provide that illusion of hope. Hidden evidence requires faith. There are many in the faithful. Eric Weinstein. Oh, Mick West was replying to Eric Weinstein, and Eric Weinstein said, "Didn't I say this at the beginning of the show? So far as I am aware, there is as yet zero evidence for UFO craft defying the laws of known physics based on high-quality publicly available data. There are simply an enormous number of videos, rumors, eyewitness accounts, and indirect indications. What should we propose? What should we propose?" What, I think I replied to that. As a matter of fact, I think I gave a really good reply to it. I don't want to look for it anymore. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. Well, what should we propose? Here's what I propose. Not promoting Jeremy Corbell, but they have to. That's their buddy. Capiche? Why is anybody listening to Corbell when he has no proof of anything he's saying? Nothing. Why? I don't get it. I think it's because people think that eventually these people are going to come out and talk. Eventually. Because that's what Corbell said. He said in middle of January, and I think on the 19th, he gave us the blob, right? The Mosul blob, which is a car or something going down the street. It's bullshit. It's a 1 second visual in a 4-second video that we don't get to see. Why can't we see the video? Okay. That's why Jeremy Corbell sucks at ufology. Because every time he gives us something, the narrative, the story doesn't match. He said there's a swarm of these, that, and the other things, and we see one little dot, pyramid, airplane, bokeh. Oh yeah, that's a swarm. Oh boy, look at that swarm going by at 85 miles an hour. Woo-wee! 80 knots, whatever it was. Look, I don't know who to trust anymore. We definitely can't trust Enigma. Enigma's bad news. And the more I look into it, the more I don't like it. Stay away from Enigma Labs. I promise you. It's just the whole entire thing. And I'm still looking into it. I'm still new into researching Enigma Labs, but so far I'm seeing people I don't like doing something that's not necessary, being very hypocritical in what they're, what do they call that? Their, what they wanted, their mission statement, right? They want to be all about transparency. We're not going to work with the government. And then they're looking to work with the government. All I know is Alejandro Rojas cannot be trusted. He left ufology a few years ago when things were getting pretty bad for MUFON. Remember all the allegations and the PEDO and all that with Jan Harzan? Not Jan. Yep. And then they get a guy who flies airplanes, and on the side takes people up on sexual adventures at 37,000 feet. Fine. I don't care about that. I would love to have to do that at 37,000. I mean, I have, but it's not like the plane was going up and down or anything. You know, we're just doing our thing. Nothing major. Big deal. But people, you know, they set it up and maybe the plane takes a dive and they're all zero gravity for 10, 15, 20 seconds. And that might feel pretty darn good. But it's just the cast of characters that are involved. And that's what I'm still looking into. And so far, the main character, Alejandro Rojas, or one of them, is a bad place to start. That's what I said earlier. It's Enigma Labs is going to have a shitty foundation. It'll always be super controversial. I will always tell people never, ever submit your information, your sighting report to Enigma Labs. It is going right to the government, and you don't know what can of worms you're going to open. I was going to say what doors, but same thing. Are you opening yourself up by using Enigma Labs? If you have a really good sighting, a legitimate one, and you really report it, and you really think it happened, well, they send out these people to come investigate at your place. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't be so open as for them to come over to my house. I would rather meet them outside somewhere, maybe at a local park or something. Yeah. Anytime I had people from ufology that are in mainstream media come over my house to do an interview with me, I felt very uncomfortable, except for one guy. His name was Scott, but he worked for Channel 3 in Arizona. Nicest guy. But he always had me come down. I don't know why the other times they always wanted to come over, but it's just weird, I guess. Maybe make it more personal. Anyway, my point is Enigma Labs isn't a trustful organization. It'll never be trustworthy. There's something dirty going on over there, and I'm going to find out. I don't know. I know that the character is right there. Just, if you're going to report anything, don't report it to Enigma Labs. That's all I'm saying. If you really want to report something and you'd like to get a legitimate review and even maybe have somebody come out, if you're in the area, I would skywatch with you guys if you thought you were seeing something that was awesome. Anything that isn't a dot. Why do the aliens appear the way they do? Are they organic or inorganic? Says Peter Lavenda. Personally, he says, I've long suspected that the Greys are comparable to robotic worker bees or avatars that do the grunt work. Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. I kind of see, I get that. I could see that. Actually, what he says here is pretty interesting. I'm going to play it. He's a good guy, right? Not a bad guy. Maybe somebody who speaks normal. Doesn't try
to share when they talk about the aliens.
Here, watch.
For instance, I talk in Man, for instance, a lot about how we view the alien, and there's some very important points, I think, to my mind, and that is there are physical similarities that people seem to share when they talk about the aliens. They're talking about big eyes and a large head, a virtually insignificant mouth, nose, a small torso, arms and legs, kind of, no genitals of any kind. When you stop and think about it, what does that mean? What are they describing? What planet or what environment would that being come from? Does the fact that it has virtually no mouth and no ears that we can see, unless it's like Spock ears on some of these drawings, does that mean that there's no physical communication? Is that why the abductees claim that they're being spoken to telepathically? Is the telepathy not a choice, but is it a requirement because the beings do not speak? There are no vocal cords. They do not hear. There are no ears. So there's no acoustic.
If they don't speak, why have a mouth hole? For food? Let's say they're wearing some sort of space suit. If you look at our spacesuits, they look nothing like a human head. So the fact that these aliens have two big eyes, a slit for a mouth, two dots, two little holes for a nose, could be the actual being itself. Unless they, they're that advanced that everything they wear, their entire spacesuit, is like a part of them, even. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. Maybe they put something over them and it just forms over the body and protects it. See, that's the thing. If this is a robot, half living organism, why give it a mouth and a nose if it's going to talk to you telepathically? Does it eat with that mouth? See, we don't know anything. Nobody's ever seen an alien eating that I've ever heard of. Unless you talk to Riley Martin, but he died. I've never heard of an alien using the restroom, going number one. I've never heard of an alien spitting, tearing up. Nothing of that nature. There's nothing excreting out of the aliens to give us evidence. Fine. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying it's never been reported. This alien had a poop stain on its ass. You never hear of that. That would be interesting, though. It looked like this alien peed himself. I was an immature alien.
Acoustic situation with the alien. It's strictly a mental communication process, as an example. In other words, analyze what people are saying about their experiences and see if there's similarities across different experiences, and see if we can come up with an idea as to what they're talking about. Is this organic or is it inorganic? If they're taken aboard a spacecraft with these beings, and they always describe the spacecraft in certain ways, right? Sometimes it's a laboratory, sometimes there's just lights, or there's whatever. As I often point out, there's never a wastebasket, Why is that? There's never any place for dealing with waste at all. The beings themselves don't seem to create it.
If I was abducted and taken inside of an alien spaceship, I wouldn't be focusing on looking for a waste paper basket per se, but I would be making a very detailed report of everything around me. If anything looks familiar, I'd report it back when I get back to my family, friends, and anybody else, if I make it. Yeah. So, nobody ever talked about seeing a sink either. Nobody ever talked about a garbage pail. So what? Nobody's ever talked about a garbage pail before. And nobody was singing Whistling Dixie either. I don't understand the relevance, but all right.
Any waste. You never see an alien sneeze or pass gas, for instance, which
interesting. He's right. He is 100% right. Jessica, you have a nice night. It is time to go. It is. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Mucho gusto, generoso. I want to thank everybody. I know it was a little weird tonight. I am definitely tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have the my own videos up to show you, because I should be getting that piece tomorrow, and also tomorrow I'm going on Rebellious Unknown. That's Lynn Wallington Hurley's show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on YouTube. After this show, I will be on with a couple of her husband, Dave, another one of her friends, Caitlin, I believe, who I think is psychic. We're going to talk about the current, the current state of ufology and things. She said it's going to be fun. And let me tell you, she knows fun. It's going to be a great time. Tomorrow night, right after this show. I won't forget it. I'll remind you. We'll be right here anyway. And then I'll cut the show short tomorrow by 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll go transfer over there. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. So don't forget that. Newcomers and veterans, thank you very much for giving GUFON a chance. Just listening to us maybe a day or two will maybe squash any thoughts you had about GUFON and what we do here. We're strictly everything about truthology. Truthology for ufology, as I was saying. So that's what we do here every single day. If we're here, if we're alive and not sleeping. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m., and then we're going to Rebellious Unknown right after at 9. I'm Rich Giordano for GUFON. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. It's Thursday tomorrow. You only got a day and a half left of work, 9 to 5ers. Alien bless. Giddy up.
There's a good thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies over and why is it down treasured sites in Christianity?